What do we want? Increase in per capita income or increase in purchasing capacity? According to Prout, increases in per capita income are not a sufficiently reliable and scientific index to determine the standard and progress of a particular socioeconomic unit. Rather, this approach is misleading and deceitful, because it refers to a simple mathematical calculation of total national income divided by total population. This does not give the correct picture of the standard of living of the people of a particular socioeconomic unit, as the wealth disparity in society is concealed. Per capita income shows the mean, and not the variation of income distribution. If inflation is also considered, the reliability of per capita income is further reduced. Purchasing capacity, on the other hand, is the real index of how people's economic needs can be met by their income. All Prout's plans and programs in the socioeconomic sphere should be aimed at increasing the purchasing capacity of the people. Prout stresses increasing purchasing capacity and not per capita income. Per capita income is not a proper indication of the increase in the standard of living of the people, because while people may have very high incomes, they may not be able to purchase the necessities of life. If the per capita income is low and people have great purchasing capacity, they are much better off. So, purchasing capacity and not per capita income is the true measure of economic prosperity. Everyone's requirements should be within their pecuniary periphery, or purchasing capacity. Shall we support the recent cry for more power to the states? What is our policy? We support economic decentralization. So the amount of power which directly concerns economic decentralization should be in the hands of the states or the concerned lower-level governments. Otherwise, how can they materialize the economic power that is vested in them by decentralization? What is the difference between agrico-industries and agro-industries? Agrico-industries represent a set of pre-harvesting industries. Agrico-industries directly or indirectly promote the rapid qualitative and quantitative growth of agricultural products. Agro-industries comprise those post-harvesting industries which depend on agricultural production. Should development schemes for the all-round elevation of an agricultural country or region and an industrial country or region be the same in theory or different from each other? Development in the sense of all-round elevation is the summum bonum of economic activity. That is, development means integrated, compact, and multi-purpose development. Principles and theories remain unchanged, although policies may vary. The agricultural portion of theory, the agricultural style of theory, should be the same. However, since circumstances vary, the approach or the application of the theory will certainly differ. Until now, the structural locus standi of agriculture has not been properly developed. In fact, all aspects of the structural side of agriculture have been neglected. According to Prout, agriculture should be given the status of industry. In industry, raw material costs, labor costs, interest on loans, depreciation, maintenance costs, profit, the rate of outturn, etc., are fixed and included in costing. In agriculture, this has not been done, so produce is usually uneconomically priced. Farmers are forced to sell their products at low prices due to the pressure of circumstances. This is known as a distress sale. If agriculture is treated as an industry, all the conditions of industry should apply to agriculture. When this occurs, farmers will not be neglected, and there will not be any differentiation in the style of development and costing of agriculture and industry. For example, Orissa produces a single crop of paddy per year. No proper irrigation exists, so there is always a dearth of water. Consequently, peasants remain poor. But this poverty must be removed. If we recognize agriculture as an industry in Orissa, costing and pricing will be different. Costing will include the cost of seeds, labor, raw materials, pension funds, storage or inventory, depreciation, sinking funds, etc. Farmers should also include up to 15% profit on their produce as part of their costs. Thus, the value of agricultural produce as an industrial output will be properly calculated. In a Proutistic economy, buyers will have to purchase agricultural produce at this newly calculated price. This is the proper approach to integrated development. In such a system, farmers will not be exploited or put to needless hardship. What is the significance of the value of wealth? In the subtle economic sense, the value of wealth is the real wealth. Wealth, if not properly defined, may mean only riches. But the value of wealth is to be measured in terms of its capacity to purchase commodities. That is, the purchasing capacity of wealth is its real value. This real value of wealth has not yet been properly understood in numerical terms by economists. What should be the system of share distribution in cooperatives? Prout advocates the phase-wise socialization of agricultural land, which should be managed by farmers' cooperatives. In the initial phase of transition to cooperative management, land shares should be in the hands of those who are landholders. That is, initially the shares in agricultural or farmers' cooperatives should be distributed on the basis of the land vested in the cooperative. When the cooperative system is fully implemented in the agricultural sector, there will not be any distinction between landholders and non-landholders, as all members of the cooperative will be collectively responsible for the management of the land. However, this stage can only be achieved after the proper psychological preparation of the people. In the cooperative system, there should not be any scope for interest-earning shares. That is, there should not be profit-earning shares in cooperatives. Rather, shares should be according to the production of the land. If there are profit-earning shares in farmers or agricultural cooperatives, then these shares will be sold in the share market. Capitalists will buy the shares. The rate of share prices will fluctuate according to the share market prices, and cooperatives will become commercial enterprises. Similarly, in industrial cooperatives, there should be dividend-earning shares and not profit-earning shares, as in bank interest. Otherwise, these cooperatives will also become commercial enterprises. If there are profit-earning shares, the spirit of the cooperative system will be destroyed, and cooperatives will go into the hands of the capitalists. So, there must not be any preferential shares in any farmers, producers, or consumers' cooperatives. Only dividend shares. Shareholders with preferential shares earn a fixed amount of interest from their shares, regardless of whether their enterprise makes a loss or profit. Shareholders must be people of high morality. In cooperatives, voting rights should be on an individual basis and not on the basis of the number of shares a person holds. In capitalist countries, shares can be purchased. Democracy in capitalist countries is a farce because votes can be purchased and poor people cannot fight elections. Neither the commune system nor capitalism can solve human problems. Only the cooperative system can solve all sorts of social, cultural, and national problems. What are service cooperatives? This type of cooperative will not be in the arena of producers or consumers cooperatives. Service cooperatives are a subtle type of cooperative, coming within the arena of cultural cooperatives. Let us take the example of doctors. Doctors should start service cooperatives. These cooperatives may also be called physicians' service cooperatives. Suppose a doctor is not able to open his or her own practice. He or she may form a service cooperative with 5 or 10 other doctors. Such a cooperative is an intellectual service cooperative. Doctors who have little capital and cannot afford to establish their own practices can also work in this type of cooperative. Such a system will solve the unemployment problem of doctors. In addition, doctors can start research through these cooperatives. Although a doctor's job is 99% practical and hardly 1% theoretical. Besides service cooperatives, there are several other types of cooperatives which include farmers' cooperatives, producers' cooperatives, consumers' cooperatives, banking co-ops, housing cooperatives, and family annuity cooperatives. If the land is bountiful and per capita income is very high, does it mean that the all-round micropsychic conations or the all-round micropsychic aspirations of the people are fully quenched? No. To quench the all-round micropsychic longings of the people, there must be the following. A. Psycho-spiritual education. There can be balkanization of society if there is no psycho-spiritual education. B. Rule by moralists. C. Ever-increasing purchasing capacity. If the per capita income is rupees 50,000 and the price of the quintal of rice is rupees 80,000, the condition of the people will be very bad. And D. A balanced socio-economic structure. Is barter trade suitable for undeveloped or developing countries? It is suitable for both undeveloped and developing countries, especially where the number of surplus goods is limited or few in number. Bangladesh, for example, has a surplus in jute and hide. For that country, barter trade is suitable. What is the bonus system and the piecework system? In capitalism, production is for profit. The amount of the bonus is usually fixed. The actual profit is hidden from the workers and goes directly to the owner. So workers do not get any incentive to work harder and better. In communism, production is for the state. Workers do not feel oneness with the job, so there is little incentive to work. In Prout, production is for consumption. Our industrial system will be based on consumption. Profit will be minimized, so capitalists will not get the scope to exploit the workers. There will also be rational distribution of wealth. The time involved in the production of commodities can be viewed from 3 angles. The time allotted to complete some work, the time taken to complete some work, and the time saved to complete some work. In the bonus system, the calculation of the bonus is on the basis of the time saved, and the money value of this calculation is given to the worker. This is the incentive in the bonus system. In the piecework system, the incentive is calculated in a different way. Suppose you are manufacturing machines. The labor, etc., involved in the cost of production is set. So the market price will be the cost of production plus the profit. That is, price equals cost plus profit. The profit, or part of it, is distributed among those who manufactured the machines. This is their incentive. This is how incentives work in the piecework system. As workers get more incentive, they try to manufacture more machines. This is not the case in state capitalism, because workers get fixed incentives which become part of their wages. Incentives should encourage greater work and better quality work, so they should be directly linked to production. If this approach is followed, the per capita income and the standard of living of the workers will automatically increase.